pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First up, we're looking for approval of the minutes from last meeting.
First.
Second.
First and second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you. First resolution up is a resolution authorizing reclassification of one position in the Oswego County Attorney's Office. This is where Assistant County Attorney will be grade 70 management compensation plan. And grade 90, the amount of $132,281 a year.
Second.
First and second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? GC2 is a resolution authorizing the budget bond for assigned council legal fees. With the budget right now is only $6,395.48. This is how it's coming up with $309,619 for the state aid to indigent defense, and $81,185 from Pearl Herring Fund, and $93,127 from state aid ILS 11.
I'll make a motion.
Motion on that? Second. Any other discussion?
Rachel, would you like to comment on that?
Sure. So the legal fee line is quite low, and it is almost October. So to continue to pay attorneys for the rest of the year, we are proposing moving funds from various grant lines. We unexpectedly received a little over $320,000 from the Department of Criminal Justice. We are wanting to use the majority of those funds to move to the legal fee line. The public defender also received the same grant. I know they're proposing to fund 2 positions with it. So instead of kind of ramping up and using it for other things, we decided let's move it to the legal fee line this year, since we are struggling with the legal fees, quite honestly. So that's what we're proposing. I understand it's not exactly good news to continue to come and ask for money for the legal fee line, and I understand it's only October. The good news is we are struggling with the legal fees, quite honestly. So that's what we're proposing. I understand it's not exactly good news to continue to come and ask for money for the legal fee line, and I understand it's only October. The good news is that today, 7 grant claims will end, which means starting tomorrow, I can continue to make claims to the state and receive some money back. The biggest one would be the rate increase reimbursement grant from the state. We're averaging around $200,000 per claim. So starting tomorrow, I can submit that claim and we can hopefully see that returned to us.
So limit how many claims you can put in?
So each grant has 4 quarters per year. So we can only submit 4 claims per year per grant.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. 3 is a resolution authorizing the addition of 2 new attorney positions to the Public Defender's Office. We also received $322,667 in grant funds. I'll make that first. Second. And a second. Discussion on that? Favor?
Okay. We're close.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just calling the DMV numbers. Our DMV numbers are down slightly this month, but we still do not have a completed month report because, well, today. So
You're gonna get one more here today.
what'd you say?
You're gonna get one from me today.
Okay, there you go. Maybe you'll put us at least at even, but we are down slightly this month compared to last year at this time. But in total, our online revenue is up slightly from where we thought we should be at this point. So that's a good heading in the right direction. End of the year projections looks like we probably be on par with where we need to be to meet our goals. When it comes to our record center, we're moving forward with our project, of course. We now have veterans on board, working on purchasing. That is, we're doing a back scanning for them. They're also putting in new documents. So heading in the right direction. We have went to a couple, I don't want to say conferences because there were meetings during the day. We just went and came back with Madison County and talked to them about their records management processes they're going through. Got a lot of good ideas from them. And no, I'm not putting into the $950,000 scanner that they have, but I would like it. But we don't need that. Quite honestly, I worked out a deal with them at a pretty reduced rate that if we do need a larger scanner for our maps and stuff, they will do very, very reasonable price. We just have to transport them down and back. So that was a good thing. Also, the system they're putting in a slightly different system than we have with our Laserfish. So I'm excited to see what goes on with theirs and how compatible it is with ours. In the clerk's office, we will be completing hopefully this week. All of our deed and grantee and grantor books will be back, and all of our deed will be online. We're hoping that we can push the button and send it through this week. If we can't, something comes up with IT, we might have to put it off a week. But we're very, very close on that. I appreciate you allocating the $150,000 worth of ARPA for that, because we actually were at a little meeting at Skinny Atlas with a number of clerks and surveyors and engineers who deal with plan subdivisions and all of that. And we actually got a shout out from the head guy who's out of Erie County and said that we're one of the only counties in the state that is as progressive as we are putting our documents online. So I thought that was pretty good to news, and I just wanted to share with you and thank you for always supporting our office. One last thing I want to leave you with. We went to our first gun show since I've been clerk. It was very successful. I do want to thank IT for helping prepare us for that, because as you may or may not know, the VPN and getting in basically takes an act of Congress and two prayers for the Pope. And we were able to make it in from the state fairgrounds. We did stay for one day. We didn't have enough help for the second day due to illness and things. But we will do the next gun show at the state fairgrounds. Say that we turned a profit off from it, I think that would be a little bit of a stretch, but at the end of the day, to give the service that we did to our constituents, I think it was worth it. Any questions for me? Thank you. Thanks, sir.
Next up, we have strategic initiatives.
Yep. Point of interest for Terry. The planning department has a new plotter, and I believe IT has it fully functional now. They can scan large maps and things.
Yep, these are huge. They're size of this table. Huge. I mean, they're huge maps. Yeah.
Pretty big. Check with them. Working on gathering data still for the wastewater treatment assets throughout the county. In fact, there's a meeting today with the town of Constantia and some of the folks over on the North Shore to get a good handle on what they've got going on over there and what they'd like to do next. There's been lots of talk between the village of Cleveland and the town of West Monroe, but it's a moving target, so trying to get a better handle on that. And the feasibility analysis of the trunk line sewer from Hastings to potentially Fulton is making good progress. And on the broadband side, we've been negotiating with the state on our incentive proposal for the last several weeks. We have another meeting with them at 12:30 today, and we have been trying to gather data to respond to questions for the RFP we have out for broadband consultant services. So basically, be our representative in the process going forward. So somebody with expertise that can keep things moving, because we've only got 2 years to do that project. So.
Any other questions for Dave? Thank you. Next up, we have real property.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Same as usual, just kind of business as usual down there. We closed the book on all the school taxes. Next up will be county taxes in the next couple of months. So we're just gearing up for that. October is always our slow month where we get caught up on anything we've been putting off. And then in a couple of weeks, I'll be going to the Property Tax Directors Conference. So next committee meeting, I'll report back to you on whatever is covered there at that meeting. So.
Just
Sure.
yeah, between you and the county clerk, how secure do you feel our records online and other records are from identity theft? People making quick claim deeds and all that. You're in a good position there.
Well, those are two different questions, okay? Well, let me break that down first. When it comes to deeds and filing and deed theft of that nature, I'm not going to say I'm 100% confident in it, but I'm 99% confident that the system we have in place throughout the state is very secure and safe. Yeah, because we also have to send a notice prior to let them know the property is transferred. Not only that, in a small county such as ours, you don't see as much because there's a lot of people that know each other and what comes out of the property. And 90% of my deed transfers that come in through abstractors and lawyers. So, that's e-filing and all that. So it's more of a, less a lawyer. How many times is a lawyer going to be involved in it? So, downstate, Westchester, and that, they've had a lot of them. I say a lot, 5 a year, maybe 6 a year. But you're also talking a million of those people. So, kind of a convoluted answer to that part of that question, but I feel relatively confident, 99% sure that we are in a good spot with that. I mean, we also have a system that we put into place to notify you. If you haven't signed up for the deed theft system, you should do that. It's right on its webpage, the county clerk's webpage. You go on, you click on it, put your email address in there. Don't change your email every 5 days like some people do. And use an email that's going to be there all the time, because then you will be notified as well. If your name comes through, send you an email saying, hey, and a lot of people call and they're like, oh yeah, I forgot that I, satisfied a judgment for sales tax or something of that nature. That's why they keep, okay, yeah, thanks. Or, oh, I forgot that my subdivision map was going to be filed. Okay, yes, I appreciate that. So, and you're not hindering us by calling us. We're here to help.
What's that website?
If you go to the county clerk's website, county.com, at the bottom, there's a link. Just click on that.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, the second part of that question was, online access and how our system is.
Yeah.
So IQS runs our system. They have a triplicate backup and protection on all of their systems. If you recall, COT systems out that's used in Onondaga County. Last year they had somebody hack in, I think Suffolk County had a similar issue, but they had some malware and everything they had in there. It's really wreaked havoc. Dollars. We have tested this system time and time again. They continue to test it and put the latest standards in practice. At some point, we do have to rely on the technology that's there. I'm constantly making sure that they're on their toes with it. It's in our contract for that, and we also are insured to be protected. I don't know what we can do other than that. I hate to say it, we got to fake technology that we have to. So it has been, it's triple getting protected. Makes sense.
Good. It's glad to actually hear it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Well, trust me, you don't want to be a county clerk when your neighboring county clerk is going to hell and back with And she's calling me, I got a problem. I'm like, what's that? She says, everybody's information has been, has breached and everything else. Like, oh God. Luckily, we have a difference. Not saying it can't happen to us, but that really sparked a lot of interest over the last year to make sure that we were on our toes with all this technology.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
One here for the public. Signed council, Rachel, do you have anything else?
Nothing other than what was already discussed. If anybody has any questions.
Next up, board of elections, Kevin, do you have any?
Just real quick, there's two things, surplus funds. So a few months ago, we sent out information about surplus funds. Our county attorney worked with our office, and as Terry said, progressive. We were one of the first ones that actually, we kind of wrote the whole thing for a lot of the other counties on how to really do it. The courts approved it, so you have phone calls, please direct them to our office. We'll be putting something online, how to file. If you think you have surplus funds, they'll be coming up in probably a week or two. We're finalizing it now. So that kind of is going to take care of itself. The court's going to give the money back, and we get a whopping 2% after everything's done. Or if they don't claim it after 3 years, it becomes ours, our possession. And then the next thing is the foreclosure. We started the foreclosure process. I reported to F&P that there's roughly 3,500 properties, which required about 5 sheets each, double-sided, sent out to all the property owners, lien holders, all that stuff. Cost us about $17,000, pay $1 a page. We're going to get more efficient with it because, again, progressive, we're one of the 3 or 4 counties that actually did an auction prior to the foreclosure being approved. So we're kind of in that mix of writing doing it the way we like to do it. And I think it's right. So we're not waiting for somebody else to tell us how to do it. So it's very, that actually went smoothly, except for we had about 8 employees trying to get these letters out in a manageable amount of time. I think, like I said, I think that will all start, once the process becomes more efficient, I think we'll be fine with that. So you have phone calls about that as well, just turn them to us. Don't try to do a lot of research, and they always tell you they don't know and all this, and we make mistakes, and God knows we all make mistakes, but pretty much it's on them. So we'll explain it to them, and we'll take their wrath. So that's it. I just want to tell you that it's been very busy with the foreclosure, but initially I thought it was going to be a really big mess, but it's probably going to be more of a costly thing than a lot of as far as employees and time and stuff like that. I think it's just going to be a very costly situation. We just can't. We won't be making the $2 to $3 to $4 to $5 million that we used to.
3,500, is that?
3,500, but it's on point. I think the projection is you're going to probably see an uptick next year, and maybe even bigger uptick the year after that.
There's an increased window on the new foreclosures as well. And are you talking about the delinquent taxes or the petition that went out?
Petition that went up.
Okay. That we have a larger number on the list that's filed. It's a 2-year cycle. Petition always has larger numbers than what are actually taken because of bankruptcies, withdrawals, redemptions, other legal proceedings. So that'll be parsed down. But there's more tax rates are going up. People who have bought recently realizing the combination of higher mortgage rates, higher values, higher taxes, going back to roost.
Yeah.
What is the timeline for those surplus funds? So what's the eligibility?
3 years from the date of the order confirming the auction proceeds. It goes into court and trust. Surplus monies are not the county's; they belong to others. Unless at the end of the 3 years they're unclaimed, then they escheat to the county.
No, I'm asking is 3 years from when?
From the date of the order confirming the auction surplus report, and the county filed a consolidated report instead of individual by property because people came in at different times after the auction to pay. So that report was filed. It went to everyone, former owners, persons who had interests in the property, and that starts the clock running on the 3 years.
Yep. So So again, 3 years from now, that we'll really start to see what the impact is going to be with this foreclosure process. But I gotta give the county attorney's office just the amount of kudos that it's amazing, all the new stuff that's going on and trying to, we can sit and wait for somebody else to do it, but
I thank the treasurer's office too. And the fact that it's not county money, we're still getting motions in court to release these because they feel it's necessary. I just told an attorney out of Rochester, they don't need to serve us on these motions. It's not the county's money. We just need an order to disperse. And there are many complicating factors on the surplus: matrimonials, federal and state tax liens, someone title died, judgment creditors, debating priority, variety of different things. So the applicant needs to put people on notice, go to the court, and sometimes maybe a referee will be appointed if the monies are substantial to determine some claims. And we've seen, what, 50,000? We've seen some surplus monies that, tens of thousands. Yeah,
exceed that.
yeah, exactly.
Where are those funds? Where are those reside?
They're in custodial accounts in the treasurer's office called Court and Trust. It's not on the county ledger. It's maintained on a separate ledger, just like a mortgage foreclosure surplus. The order directs the treasurer or clerk to open up an account. They're held in a custodial account, and depending on the rules, they could go to the state comptroller if unclaimed after a certain amount of time, or here it's 3 years from the opening of that account with the order till.
Are they in an interest-bearing account?
Yes. That minimal because
Who
court
keeps
trial.
the interest?
What?
Who gets the interest?
We just take 2% of the total net at the end, total gain at the end.
Yeah, the treasurer holds funds for other parties. Could be a child who's had a trust created by operation of a will, and treasurer can hold those monies until 18 or age of majority. The custodial accounts are different, and they're not county money. They're just held for the benefit of either per direction of the court normally, but for the benefit of individuals or parties to litigation or otherwise.
Yeah, so with the interest every month, it has to be documented per the court and trust account. So if it's 8 cents or $1, if you have 80 properties, it's got to be documented monthly for the report, for reporting. So there is some labor involved in that, but it's pretty, you don't make a ton of interest. Any other questions?
I'd ask that the executive session be proposed or pending litigation, Addis, 9 Mile 1 and 2, Oswego Harbor Power, Velasco versus the county, CNY Raceway, and one other item.
Thank you. We're in the full